Hello, so I've been thinking about religion again, and obviously I've talked about it before, but I was kind of more thinking about how many sort of devout Christians and what have you do seem to have that deterministic God, i.e. everything's mapped out according to a plan, which is interesting because, I suppose it removes any personal responsibility. It's a very nice get-up. But a few questions have come to mind, sort of, for example, when people say, oh, those poor people in whatever countries just had a big natural disaster, I will pray for them. Well, one, clearly this deterministic God meant for it to happen, so praying for them really won't do anything. And two, obviously if they're meant to die, that's part of the plan too, so praying for them won't do anything. It's part of the plan. Also I was thinking about conversion, because God creates people, in theory. This is how the logic goes. So those people are created with ideas and thoughts and things like that, that will happen, and part of the plan obviously will unfold to them. So if they are atheists, for argument's sake, because it's easier, why try and convert them to your spirituality ideals? Surely the plan is that they're atheists, to give you something to have there. It's sort of like having an adversary of sorts, like in comparison to obviously how God has all the demons and fallen angels. So that's an interesting one. And of course, as has been bandied about, obviously when subjects like gay marriage have come up, well, why be against homosexuality? God created people, and it's part of the plan, so clearly part of the plan is that they are homosexual, and that's fine then, because that's his plan. And it all kind of comes back to this whole idea of him being sort of omniscient and omnipresent and everything like that. And if that's the case, then everything that happens is part of the plan. And you may as well just potter around and just go, yeah, that's part of the plan. Rather than like praying and converting and demonstrating. I've really got onto this particular subject though, by rewatching the X-Files from, the pilot all the way through. And I was watching Miracle Man, the wonderful episode about faith healing. And that is what kind of sparked really these thoughts, and it is more about the faith healing that I'm interested in. Because, again, if you're following the idea of a deterministic God and a set plan, and, it's all under that kind of remit, if you like, it's all to that blueprint. So let's posit then that God's plan is this person getting ill, which is pretty cruel. But why would someone have the power then to fix them if the plan is for them to be ill? Either to teach them something or their family something, as is often the excuse bandied around. Why imbue someone with the power to basically undo your own work? Is that kind of saying, yeah, my work's a bit crap actually, you sort it out? Like when a CEO sends his secretary out to get the donuts or something, whatever it may be, whatever rich people do. So does that then imply that in fact mankind is superior? Because we're in that position where we can fix his mistakes, so we're actually better, which would make God fallible and inferior. All of this assuming the existence, of course. So it would make him inferior to man, which would kind of be against the omniscient, omnipresent, because man isn't that at all. So there's a lot of this is flawed. Really, it all comes down to why believe in this thing without empirical evidence? Now, okay, yes, you can say, well, because I feel God in my soul and all that. And, if you're not one of these people who believes in a deterministic God, then all of this kind of is like, well, I don't believe that that's the case. So, it also mentions free will, But that in itself has a quandary, because obviously the Bible does mention God's omnipresence, omniscience, but it also obviously posits free will. So if free will's part of the plan, is it free will? And a lot of people kind of get around this by saying, well, there's an outline. It's not a plan. It's not like A then B then C then D. It's right. In this bracket here, these kind of things should really be happening. In this bracket, these things should be happening. So as I say, it's more of an outline, more of a sketch, more of a just a draft, I suppose. Which I can kind of go, all right, then that's fair enough. It's like anything that you plan for, I suppose, as a human. Things can adjust, and you adjust your plans. Which is easier also than planning every little thing. So that's kind of okay. But it still kind of begs the question with those people who do believe it. And, going back to the whole idea, I was having some thoughts, what could be a response, of some of these, and one that did come to mind that could potentially be thrown at the issue is, well, if the plan is that someone's ill and God gives a faith healer the power to heal that, maybe it's a test for the faith healer, which is just as cruel as if it's a test for the individual or their family. Well, I kind of go, you need to learn things. Here, have some untreatable illness by medical science. That's not a kindly father. That's not even good old-fashioned Old Testament God. And it's weird how he had a massive personality change in that difference. Because kindly God would be like, oh no, you shouldn't suffer. Oh no. Old Testament God did have reasons. He wasn't just kind of walking around willy-nilly, smite, smite, smite. That would be rather insane. But sometimes there were annoying reasons, granted. And I suppose, if it's like, you took my name in vain on a Sunday. You went, oh God, I can't believe it's not butter. So I will give you the HIV or something. Yeah, whatever. He'd generally have a reason for whatever he's done. But as I say, a lot of faith healers come against things like, sort of genetic illnesses, which to me implies the part of the plan, because genetic encoding. And again, why believe these things? It's more of a, I don't understand how anyone can say that it's obviously all real, because it's so internally contradictory, that it just hurts my brain to think about too much. And you can get yourself in logical loops as well, like the whole, well, maybe part of the plan is this. Well, what about this? Well, maybe that's part of the plan too, but doesn't that negate this? No, because that's part of the plan too. And you kind of get into this weird circular thinking, and it's quite painful. But yeah, so, I'm not saying any religion is inherently, wrong. Everyone's entitled to believe what they want. It's just, I struggle to see some of the rationale behind it. That's all. So, any comments you've got on the matter, good or bad, feel free to leave them below. Follow on the usual social media and chuck subscribing. I'd be happy. I'm very grateful. But until next time, take care.